Morning. Good morning, everyone. Good to see a few of you online already. Welcome to another marvellous Monday indeed. James, good morning to you. Laura, Adrian, Ashley, Alison, good morning. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Good to see you guys. Hope you had a great weekend wherever you are. And hopefully you're back refreshed, ready for the week. I know I am. Hey, we're pretty pumped for tonight. You guys remember, I know most of you would have already, but remember to get along to tonight's mentoring. We've got a show up in Brisbane, and we've got a bit of a live audience, a little bit of a live show, folks. So it should be fun. You never know what goes on when you're outside of the studio. Should be hopefully everything goes well. But if you haven't already, make sure you register. It's the power of design tonight, and we're talking about how architecturally designed real estate can add massive value to your wealth and great value to your tenants' interest in paying more rent. That's at the end of the day what we want, don't we? Hey, good morning, Deb. Hey, buddy, we got to catch up. I know. We there was a message the other day. Let's get it done, Deb. And Joel, mate, how are you? Great to see you guys. Hey, listen. I'll do the quick intros just in case there's anyone dropping by who's new. If you're new, say hello. Give us a shout out in the chat. Tell us where you're from. Jason Witten's my name, as it says right there on the old name on the screen. And been doing this a while. Actually been property investing over 20 years, coaching property investors, maybe just like you, over 18, to build their portfolios in a sustainable way. We've got a couple of sayings around here. Buy well, never sell. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint. We've got to go the distance, folks. Real estate is a slow wealth vehicle, but it is certainly, once it gets its momentum's certainly worth owning and keeping. That's for sure. So welcome along. If you are new, like I said, give us a shout out in the chat. Tell us where you're from, what you're up to. Alexis and Rodney and Graham, good morning to you guys. What is going on out there in the world for you? Chris O, mate, great to have you dropping by as always. All right, let's have a bit of a chat. Let's have a bit of a yarn. The media, as they do, winding up out there, trying to sell newspapers, trying to get eyeballs and clicks, the weekend wasn't anything different when it comes to information that you might consider maybe a bit sensationalist or a little bit the old daylight savings. Indeed, we're back, folks. We're back. Daylight savings, yes. I love it. I'm a big fan, actually. You know what? What I have enjoyed, though, in Queensland, starting a little bit earlier for our mentoring nights and finishing a little bit earlier. But that's the way it rolls. Good to see. We're able to get those folks who often in the southern states are at work or can't pop along to one of the morning coffee chats. But check this out, folks. Check out the old media carry on malarkey. Prices fall in Sydney and Melbourne like to accelerate after hitting their peaks. Interesting conversation. ANZ, on average 3% this year, 15% round by 2024. I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't be listening to anything the lenders say, because why would the lenders be promoting and saying things like that? Tell me in the chat, and sometimes it might be a bit hard to, do this, but what's the benefit of scaring you as an investor? And what do most people do when it comes to, they do report short term. That's for sure. It's the long-term play. Yep, that is exactly right, Chris O. Now, hang on. What do you mean, Chris O? You reckon these banks would be trying to, get people to do something that's not necessarily in their their financial best interest. Oh, surprise, surprise. Yeah, listen, folks, nobody, no institution is on your side. Everyone wants a piece of your pocket. Now that's just the way it is. Listen, that is the game we are choosing to play. So understand the rules of the game and take advantage of it. Team, they want you to fix and lock in. You're dead right, Nigel. They want you to sit there. They want you to be scared, because scared people are profitable people for institutions. And anyway, that's not what this morning's rant is about. Might end up there. You never know. But listen, the price falls. Now, it's very misleading, these conversations, team. And I want you guys to make sure we get our heads around this, because we have had a significant increase in our pricing across the country, whether good properties or not. Better properties have risen more. Better located properties have risen more, et cetera, et cetera. And for us as investors, as we move into a cooling part of a marketplace, and I don't think it's going to cool right off, because I think there's some pressures and some momentum in this marketplace that is going to push it along quite significantly. And especially if you've got good stuff, good properties, you'll be in the driver's seat. And there's some things coming your way that are going to be fun. They're going to be great. We need to make sure that this type of rhetoric doesn't scare us, doesn't stop us moving forward. I like what Alison said there before. You are long-term, big picture. If you're in part of your acquisition phase right now, you got 2 or 3 properties in, keep going, team. There is no value in you waiting around years and years and years, because I can tell you, people who are 20 years in look back and go, shit, I should have bought it faster, quicker, better. I should have bought 2 at the same time. I should have bought 3. Most people lament the inaction they took early in the process. Now, that said, the caveat is safely, with a budget, etc. All right? That's the way we roll here. All right. Hey, Jeff. Good to see you, mate. But check this out. Literally, moments. This was in my feed this yesterday or this morning. Price falls in Sydney, and the immediate article afterwards is luxury homes and larger properties dominate the auction market. Some selling $1 million above the reserve. What? So they go, prices are falling, but they're selling $1 million above the reserve. Again, team, this is about eyeballs. This is about clicks. Well, it didn't surprise me, but again, sometimes I was chatting with a media friend of mine the other week, and by default, the journalists now are rewarded / incentivized / measured by the number of clicks and eyeballs they now get off their articles that they write online. Just let that sink in for a moment. The journalists are now rewarded. It's not about, reporting the truth or about being, a cutting-edge story. It's about eyeballs. It's about attention. Unfortunately, some of this stuff is more attuned to being an influencer on Instagram rather than reporting good quality information in the marketplace. So, but the point is, team, this is a snapshot. This is a one-dimensional piece of information. So, this $1 million above reserve, property prices fall, 15%. They are one piece of information that is sprouted, and it might, and they might not even have any sort of validity or data behind them. So we, as investors, must gather information to sort of cross-check, double-check. So is there any validity in this conversation? And the answer is there may be some slowing down of a marketplace, which might then affect our behavior as investors. It doesn't mean we stop investing. It means we get prepared if there is something to get prepared for, right? So, the headwind that we are heading into, which is going around, is the headwind of interest rates going up at some point. Now, lowest interest rates in history, even if interest rates go up 1% or 2%, they are still severely lower than the average interest rates. So still cheap money. Now, we've talked about this. I'm not going to dive into that one. But here's some other things that may be showing up, may be highlighting the reason why maybe some of the pricing in property sales might be indicating, something sold for, let's say, $1 million and now something else sold for $950, and they go, oh, there's the first signs of prices going down. Well, that's not an accurate indicator of what's going on. Number one, team, out there in the marketplace right now, the number of properties for sale, has gone down significantly, all right, over time. And then the last couple of years has significantly dropped as well. Now, tell me in the chat, what else may have, if you own real estate right now, there's no financial pressure on you. What are the reasons you might sell your property at the moment? Other than you're not, you're worried about some media conversation. But tell me, what are some of the reasons somebody might sell their property for right now? And the number one reason we're seeing a lot of people sell their properties at the moment is downsizers. All right. Tell me in the chat right now, what other reasons would people sell after 3 years of significant capital gains? Upgrading the PPR, dead right. So a downsizer or /upgrader. Yeah. Upgraders. Getting rid of a lemon. Yep. Get lemon. Free up a bit of cash flow. There you go. Like, there's a few other things. And maybe there might be someone who has some sort of pressure. All right. For, downsize, divorce, death, default, distance, etc. Get rid of the rubbish. It's a great time to get rid of the rubbish. So let's look at this, team. The downsizers and upgraders, those guys are sort of buying and selling often in similar markets. Those those people have got an amount of, if you look at it, by and large, they might only have a 30% mortgage, and they've got 70% equity. They don't have a lot of pressure to keep the prices high, do they? So if they want to sell the property, they chuck it out there at a certain price, let's say $2 million. No one wants to buy for $2 million. They drop it to 1.9. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Family circumstances. Yeah, exactly, Yasmin. So the people who are selling have got enough equity. There's no pressure in the marketplace. The other ones, getting rid of a lemon, often, right now in these times, the properties that are being sold are substandard. And there's the reporting or information about people in financial stress at the moment, it's very little. So, right now we've got very low listings, and, there's not a real lot of reasons for people to be, exiting the marketplace and accepting, a lower price. Now, if you are selling, for most people, if they don't get the price they want, then they probably wouldn't sell. Or why would they sell right now? Because they've had 3 years of capital growth. They're sitting on their properties, all right? And that's showing in the data. That's showing in the stats, team. The listings are low. What else is low out there in the marketplace when it comes to supply? Check out this number, all right? 32% 32% lower than the 5-year average. So when we're looking at the marketplace right now, there's very little volume. There's very little sales volume on the market, or selling or turning over. And that certainly will affect the average price, or the prices that get reported as we roll along into the marketplace, right? So, 32% down, 13% down on last year, okay? And as we drill into other things as well, pieces of land, new properties. Have a look at this. There's nothing to buy in some of these areas. This is the supply. This is the supply of land in the eastern states. Let's have a look at that. It's at an all-time low of supply of land. So, there's no oversupplies. They're not going to be dumping stock and running out the door. This is an interesting piece of information here. 32,000 less housing lots for sale. That's in the land world. 43% reduction. So, team, for me, for you, when they say, okay, property prices are going to drop 15%, I don't see that as anything that we should be concerned about. That the sale of certain properties may reduce because interest rates go up. Now, we've talked about that in another video, so check that out if you want to find it. But and they were done last week. I did 2 interest rate videos last week, team. For me, it's like, and you as a property investor, we're not reacting to information in isolation, okay? And let's have a look at, the growth in the last few momentum marketplaces and how long those little trends have lasted. Oh, there's Heather. Hey, Heather. Good to see you, mate. Yes, Alison. Regional might go down a little bit as demand returns to cities with migration. Yeah, listen, and again, what happens, which you bring up a good point, Alison, is some marketplaces get overinflated temporarily because that are unsustainable locally. And when we saw this in the mining booms, team, we saw the unsustainable prices locally get inflated in places like, Gladstone, Rockhampton, Townsville, in places that the local market can't afford, but someone from the city can afford. They leave the city and they go, wow, it's cheap out here. And they pay more than they should because the marketplace is quite lowly supplied. And then they realize that small town living is not all it's cracked up to be. It's an acquired taste. I grew up in a small town, by the way, folks. Charters Towers in North Queensland. And then they move back to the city. Moranbah, exactly, Heather. Yep, exactly. So, the locals can't afford to pay it. And the moment that changes, the people who are paying those prices leave town, yep, you have a real issue, have a real problem. So, we've only had a small amount of months, add a few more months, add another sort of 5 months onto that chart there of the growth in our marketplace. And there's plenty of other, no LD and no IKEA. How can we live without those, Alison? There's plenty of other things in the marketplace that are going to underwrite this stuff, team. Number one, the big one for me, we are looking at is, a significant population increase from immigration in the next 3 years. Significant, team. That it could be around that 600,000 mark. Australia just signed off on a pretty significant economic package with India. Now, and a massive package when it comes to education. So access to Australia for education, students from India. That's going to be huge, folks. It's going to be massive, massive. Like, it's just going to be massive. Like, it's going to be crazy. You know, population, we're on the edge of a rental boom. You know, the rents are going to go crazy. And we've still got supply down and demand up, okay? Supply and demand is buggered. Construction costs are wreaking havoc when it comes to the supply of the marketplace. We had quite a lot of housing starts from the free money, the drunken sailor giveaway by the government for building a house. And a lot of those houses are still stuck. They're going to delay 1 or 2 years into the marketplace. And so be very interesting to see what happens there. So for me, for you, as we're sitting here right now, I think there's plenty of significant economic factors at play, team, that are going to underlie, if not even continue to push the growth of our market, especially if you have quality real estate, team. Quality real estate, okay, as we go. Yep. As we go. So, and remember, that's what tonight is all about. Tonight is about owning real estate for great prices, but architecturally designed. Don't miss this one, team. It's going to be an absolute cracker. It's going to be fun. Mentoring tonight. I love it, Carolyn. I might have to change my saying, right? Buy well and only strategically sell. Yes. Sell when it's strategically worth selling. And we're going to have a round 2. We're going to have a round 2 with Andy and his stuff. And hopefully we can get a bit more information out of Andy, which would be great. Anyway, team, I think that's it. I could yak all day, but we don't have time because it's over 8:30, past 8:30. Better let you guys get to work or wherever you got to go. Where's the next live mentor for Chriso? It's on tonight, mate. It's on tonight. We have a small guest, a small set of guests for tonight. Oh, Zara, DM me, babe. DM me. I'll hook you up. You guys, if you're not in the mentoring program, you should be. And we had a small amount of people tonight for our live mentoring. And in the future, we're going to have some bigger rooms for live mentoring. Anyway, should be fun. All right, team, make sure if you can't make it live, get along to the digital version of our mentoring night tonight. You guys be awesome. Be well, and join me tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee chat. If you're hanging around about 8:10, we can hang out for 20 minutes and talk real estate. All right, team, that's it. I think I'm done. I'm just rabbiting on now. See ya. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.